Hello everyone, it is day 3 of the Scrappy Tales Advent Calendar, and today, just going to jump right in here, today we have dies that make 2 sizes of bow, and since my doors were already open, I have gone ahead and cut out some bows. And I was thinking that's not very exciting. So this morning during Mommy Guide Inc. Her live, I made this glitter cardstock background. I've done several of these. I started doing that for a craft roulette card, and I really like the way that glitter paper turned out. So I've done several of these backgrounds with all the strips. I already had them cut out. So I just kept going. And I think I'm going to, instead of using these on an ornament, I'm going to use my rectangle and squares and see if I can cut these out. And we are going to make some presents. So let me try to cut these. I think I'm going to have to change out my magic mat because this is so thick with this glitter paper on here. And I'm kind of like Simon Hurley here. I'm going to be doing some awkward die cutting off camera. Get my mint tape and do my best to get these straight. I cannot talk and try to get these straight at the same time, evidently. Uh-oh, that's not straight at all. Let's see if this will cut through here. Oh, that is too thick. I'm going to take shim out. I may have to put the magic mat back in here. It doesn't like how thick this cardstock is with the glitter paper on there. So let's see if I can do this. I'll try to make it work here. And this is also why I'm not doing labs yet, because sometimes it takes me a while to get things figured out. Okay, let's see if that cut through. No. So we can put the shim back in. See if that helps it cut through there. It's almost through, but not quite. Okay, let's see. That may have cut through there this time. Sorry I was off camera for so long. not, we'll just get the scissors and cut these out. Linda Gorman said she found some magnetic trays to hold her dies while she's working, and I need to look at that. They're like foldable little magnetic tool trays from Amazon. So I'm going to have to look for those because that would be a big help. Let me get my scissors here. I'm going to have to cut through this. I knew it was thicker with that glitter cardstock, but wow, I didn't think it was that thick. Of course, at the time I made this, I had intended just to use this as a background. Otherwise, if I was going to die cut it, I've got some thin white cardstock, I would have put it on that. If I'd had this in mind when I was making this. There we go. And again, these strips are made from that Coordinations glitter card that I got. I'm not impressed with it at all. See, it just, you know, a piece of it was coming off anyway. There we go. And I thought about putting this on a patterned paper background, but I think with these diagonal strips of glitter paper, it's just going to be way too busy. So we want some different size presents, and I have these. I think I got these on Amazon. They just cut 3 different size strips. And here's I want to say they're about 1/16, a quarter, and a half. No, they're 1/16, 1/8, and about a quarter. Those aren't quite a quarter of an inch. And I cut the bows in, I cut a couple in rose gold, and I didn't think they looked good. But that's how your large and small bows, that's what they look like. And I had thought to try to like piece them together with my strips. Let's see, big strip. Of course I can't grab the right color. I keep turning over. But I think I am not going to do that. I am going to take these and glue 2 pieces, one going this way. I thought about putting them 2 ways. I don't think I'm going to do that. I think of course that's the wrong size for the wrong present. See, this is why I usually do my cards off camera. Okay. Here we go. Do that as straight as possible. If it's crooked, it'll just look like one of my real life presents. Cut that off. And I actually think it might have been better to wrap that around anyway. And then the way we're going to glue this on here is do it in the back, and that would have looked better if I had wrapped that around, and so I'm going to do that on the next one. So we have one little present. And I'm going to this time I'm going to wrap this on either side of the present like that. And a little off-centered, but it's like my real life present, so I can't fuss too much. And we're going to glue that there. See, I get glue on my fingers and it gets everywhere. It's like working with chocolate in the kitchen. You start melting chocolate and you have little chocolate fingerprints and dribs and drabs everywhere. Okay, here's my second present. And my third one, I have to decide if I want a small bow or large bow on here. Let's see, can I zoom in a little bit so you can see that? It's as much as it zooms. I think I'm going to do a gold one as well. I think that's pretty. I think the big one's going to look too big on here. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Doesn't look too bad, but I like the proportion of the smaller one. So that's what we're going to go with. We're going to set our red aside, and we are going to get a gold. And for the rectangles, I used my Hero Arts Infinity dies. And for the square, I used my Altenew halftone squares. I had no particular reason. Those are the ones I pulled out. I also have I love all those Hero Arts, or most of the Hero Arts Infinity dies. Okay, and then we're going to put a little glue on here. Put him back behind. presents here, ready to go on a card. Let me put these over to the side. I'll put these back in the calendar for a moment. And I'll put them in an envelope. Put this in here with them. Now I think these are going to disappear if I try to use a green or a red background. I think they're going to be too blendy. So, hang on a second. I'm going to use an embossing folder, which is pretty much my go-to favorite thing. These are my cardstock. Of course, I put them all up today. I was trying to clean up, and now I have another big, huge mess on my desk. So I have this. I'll tell you what. I like this holly. This is a holly flourish from Spellbinders. I think I'm going to use that. It's super pretty. Also, I don't even know who this is from. There's no name on it, and I don't have the packaging anymore. And it's extremely similar to the Spellbinders one. I don't know if you probably can't really see those that well in this light. So, anyway, I'm going to use that one. And I have a craft-a-lanch waiting to happen over here to the side, so I can't put anything over there. I just have to throw that stuff on the floor. Okay, let me run this through real quick. Guess now I'm awkward dry embossing. And I use a Spellbinders Platinum 6. I have a Gemini, but it's just a pain. And I got the Gemini because I have tendinitis in both hands and also have osteoarthritis. And I thought that'll be great for my arthritis, but for some reason my brain tells me that it's more trouble than it's worth to have another electric appliance plugged in. So anyway, that's gorgeous. And I'm going to do just a little bit of ink blending on here. And I was working on this piece of paper earlier. This mat is absolutely filthy. I think someday I'm going to need to throw it like in the bathtub because I don't have anything else big enough, and just see if I can soak it and scrub it because it's so dirty. If you have a self-healing mat and you have a cleaner that's good to get off all the sprays and paint and everything, let me know what do you use to clean yours, because I really need something. Okay. And I'm going to use a flat brush for that. Do I want to do green or red? I guess there's no green, so leaves. So let's use the green. Let's see if I have any ink still on here. I do. do. And I'm not going to try to go too heavy-handed because I don't want it all over the back. I want to try to keep the color just on the raised part if I can. Well, might have been all the color I had on this brush. Okay, let me get something out. Let's see, what green do I want to use? I think I'm just going to use grass skirt. If it colors the flat part, the non-raised part of this panel, I'm not going to be that sad about that. I just want to get color on there. So our embossing stands out. Okay, I think that's good. There's our panel. I just think it makes such a big difference to add a little bit of ink. And if you get these flat brushes, it is a lot easier. And I think I got these on Amazon. They're not super cheap, but I like these that have this little holder so you don't get ink like all over your drawer, wherever you store them. And also label mine, a label maker. So anyway, and I'm going to cut this down before I put the presents on because I don't want to mess up the bows trying to put this in here afterward. And I just, especially when I ink a panel, cut some off all four sides so that if there's ink on the edges, I want to have a nice clean edge. So let's see if these will all fit on here. If they don't, we may just have to put two presents on, which is fine because then we'll have enough for another card. So let's see, what do I think about that? It's not going to hurt it to be off the edge just a hair. The bow, that is. And I'm not sure it's going to work as a horizontal, but we're going to try it. I don't want to have these at the same height either. I'm not really liking that side by side. So I think I'm going to do with the square. And then the tall present. And then we have room for our sentiment on here. So I don't like them side by side at the bottom of the card. And they overlap. I don't like that. You can see that. I kind of don't like those bows tangling up. So I think I'm going to do it just like that. I don't mind them just hanging out on here. It's card, it's not real life. And then we will put a sentiment on. I might do that off camera and show the finished card on my next video. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this down. I think I'm going to glue this one straight on. I probably should glue the bow down because I don't want it to ruin our bow after all that die cutting. Okay, so I'll let it hang off the card just a hair. And then, you know, I think I'm going to pop this other one up, this little square one. And as much as I like foam tape and dimension, I find that because I mail most of my cards, I have found I just have a problem because it's so thick. And Scrapbook.com, bless them, came out with this thinner foam tape. It adds just a tiny bit of dimension without getting carried away. I probably won't be able to. Gotta cut my bow off here. But I probably won't be able to glue my bow down. Although, if y'all want to stick with me for just a second here, or, you know, like 20 minutes, we will. Where are they? That's from Scrapbook.com. From these are Doris little tiny strips. So we are going to just cut a couple pieces. Wow, I might have to cut these down even more. paper off of here, because if you take the paper off, it's like magic. You can bend it. If the paper's on, it really doesn't want to bend. So you can make your little curves there. Oh good, I thought I was working off camera for a second because I'm super good at that. An expert even. Let's see. I think I can put another tiny square here. A tiny square. Here. And that's going to be, I'm not going to get too carried away with that because we'll be here for an hour trying to put tiny strips of foam tape on that stuff. And there's a cat hair glued on there. Try to put some glue here, so maybe if I get it too crooked, when I first glue it down, I can fix it. Also going to put this one over here, just a hair. Oh, that's nice. I don't know if you can see that. So I'm real happy with the way that looks. So you can use your ornament bow for a present or just use your imagination. And also these bows, you could use them on any card any time of the year. So birthday cards, you could put little birthday presents on a card. That would be great. And I will probably glue the ends of the bows down. And I will put a sentiment on this and get the card finished for you and show that on my next video, because I'm going to have to rummage around and find just the right sentiment for this. So thanks for sticking with me and watching this until the end, and I will see you all on the next video. Bye-bye.